Hey guys, I'm Wanda and welcome to Deep South. Today we're going to talk a little bit about preserving eggs. Okay, there's many ways that people preserve eggs, but today we're going to be talking about preserving them in lime. Pickling lime, hydrated lime, slate lime. Pretty much the same creature from what I'm told. So we're using pickling lime today. This has been a way that people preserved eggs in the 19th century and before. In the 20th century, they used what they called glass water. Glass water was using sodium silicate. Many people are using the word glass water for lime water, and in the 20th century they started calling it glass water when they used sodium silicate. So we're doing lime water, and I'm not going to be calling it glass water because that is a different creature. We're using the 19th century and before lime water. My eggs are fresh from my chickens. They have not been washed. They're clean eggs, and I took a towel and just wiped the outside like this, just rubbed them. Did not clean them, just wiped lightly. There was no dirt on them, and I picked the eggs that had no dirt specifically. Eggs are porous. They can leak the liquid out of them, or they can absorb into them. So what we're going to be doing is trying a test or an experiment, as we're famous at Deep South for knowing. We're going to be preserving in this lime water. The process is to put them in this jar in the lime water in order to put something around them that will not allow air or anything else in, such as your bacteria and mold spores. You don't want anything going into your egg that would cause it to rot, and you do not want the liquid inside to come out. So that is why we're putting them in lime water. I sprinkled in the bottom of my jar a little bit of lime water, and I chose a glass jar. You can use crocks, whatever, but I'm going to put this jar somewhere where light doesn't get to it also, even though it's not a crock, but people use all different types. We're just going to be putting our eggs in there. We're going to stack them in so that they don't get broken. And this jar is a little bit bigger than what I would need. I can add more as time goes on, but my purpose is just to do the 12 right now so that nothing is piled on top of them. There's no chance of breakage. And as you can see, I have plenty of room to add quite a few more. I could probably do, I'd say, at least 3 dozen in this jar. This is an experiment. This is just going to be an experiment. Right now I have 1 quart of water, and we are on well water. If you're not on well water, I would suggest that you get some water that is either distilled or something that has little or no chemicals in it. That would be my thought. 1 ounce of lime. I have a scale that I just measured out 1 ounce of lime. Pampered Chef little whiskey thing. This is a mini whisk from Pampered Chef. And I'm just going to stir it. So if this is not enough water to cover my eggs, I'm probably going to be adding more, because this is going to hold quite a bit of water from the looks of it. We're going to be adding 1 quart of water per 1 ounce of lime. So I've mixed up the first quart. I've got a stainless funnel that I used, and I poured it. So it's not covering my eggs. As you can see, 1 quart did not do the trick. So we're going to remix the second quart and add it to it, and probably, I'm thinking at least a 3rd quart. Okay, so this is my 3rd quart of lime water. And it's going to take every bit of that. So we have 3 quarts of lime water with 3 ounces of lime in it. And that is pickling lime or hydrated lime. So I'm going to fill this just a little bit more. It's only less than a cup. so that when I put this in, there's going to be no air in here. There's no room for air. I have a screw-on lid, and we're going to put this in a cupboard, probably in my pantry, because there's no light can get in there. Okay, you don't shake it, you don't do anything, you don't want to bust your eggs. And yes, I could put more eggs in here and I would not have needed that last little bit of lime or lime water. These eggs are supposed to last approximately a year. It has been said they could last 2 years. I'm not really worried about that. This is an experiment. I only want my eggs to last approximately 6 months. So if these will last 6 months, I'm good. We're starting these on August the 3rd. I've got 12 in here, so we're going to see if they will go past February the 3rd. Usually our chickens are laying somewhat during that time. I only need eggs when the chickens aren't laying. So this past year, my preferred method is to freeze. I freeze 2 eggs, scrambled slightly, in a Ziploc bag, usually a sandwich bag, because it is not freezer safe. I only lightly freeze it where I can layer them then in a gallon Ziploc freezer bag. You can store quite a few layered flat in a gallon Ziploc bag. I use probably 2 to 3 dozen sometimes in one Ziploc bag. And that way they're semi-frozen before you put them in, and then they continue to freeze. They don't freeze together is what you want to keep from doing. Those got us through last year. I had probably close to 20 dozen or more eggs in gallon Ziploc bags, frozen 2 or 3 at a time. Some of the ones I do in 3 eggs in a bag because of recipes. That way we have plenty of eggs, but we also ran out this year. Luckily my girls were laying a minimum of 3 to 4 eggs a day, so that kept us in the eggs we needed. We just didn't have a surplus. Now we're back up to at least a dozen eggs a day. Most of the time it's between a dozen to 18 eggs a day. Danny and I do not eat that many eggs. And you can just leave the unwashed eggs on your counter, I would say a couple of weeks or so. Some people prefer to just leave them indefinitely, like 6 or several months, but mine, if unwashed, stay on the counter for up to 2 weeks. I usually wash every week, but I don't worry over a 2-week period. Then I put mine in the fridge after washing. I usually 2 months, I would say no more than 2 months, because I don't like leaving them. People have left them longer, but in the refrigerator after washing, 2 months. Then if you want long-term storage, freeze, or we're going to try the lime water. I think the lime water is going to be the answer for up to 6 months. I'm not worried about a year, because usually you're going to get your chickens and you're going to have more coming in, or the light hours will change and you will get more. Okay guys, this is an experiment. We are going to leave it for 1 month. This is August the 3rd, approximately September the 3rd. We're going to take out 1 egg and we're going to smell it, look at it really closely, and we're going to crack it open, and then we're going to cook it. Take a bite, and if it has a weird taste from the lime, I will trash this whole thing, because I don't want an egg that tastes funky from lime or anything else. So after the first month, then we will decide whether we're going to continue on through from September till October on. And if it doesn't have a funny taste, then we will continue on. If it does, I'm trashing it to start with, just so we have an idea, because fresh eggs are better than any long-term storage eggs. So stay around for this experiment. We'll see what they taste like next month. Thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.